Hello, Nihar.
Yes,
Am I
Bhaiya.
audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Uh, okay. So, hello everyone. Very good evening and happy Holi to all of you from my side and from the whole BSc team. Myself, Manzil Haq, your third year senior from Electronics and Communication Engineering batch. And I think you all know why we are here. Probably you had some plan because it's a Sunday evening, but unfortunately you are here with us. And honestly speaking, this might be a kickstart for you if you find this thing interesting. Like you might not know what's designing thing, what you might be interested or might not be. But if you find this thing interesting, so after this session, this will be helpful. So first thing you might have as doubt, like what's this designing thing? So do we need any prior experience in that, or any other technology that you should know already? So I would like to be clear on one thing, that you don't need any prior knowledge to start designing. So if you never tried it by your own, that's also okay. If you know something, that's also okay. And if you're good, then also it's okay for you. You can start from anywhere. And nowadays, you don't have to make it from the scratch. Like we have different softwares, different online platforms are there. They're available for free actually, that you can use as your designing tool. And uh, our team will introduce you with those softwares also. So the only thing that you will need is your creativity, like how far you can think, how you can imagine, how you can put things up. So that thing will be needed only. So and rest depends on how you take that thing. So what is designing? Like uh, let's make it simple. If you're building a house but it doesn't have any door or any window, it doesn't have any use. Okay. And if there is a door but there is no windows, then also it will be suffocating for all of you. So the designing thing is, you are making the thing and you are making the thing better. Like if you compare the websites in early 20 early 90s or in the beginning of 21st century, so the websites were different. Like they were used by some particular group of people, but nowadays they are using by variety of people, like from very young age to a very old age, people are using this softwares, or you can say websites. So they are varying in a large scale. So depending on their usage, their design may be different, and their usability also may differ. Like if you see the first Google page, like when you do the Google search, so if you just type google.com, so you'll see the first page. It's very simple. There is just a bar where you have to type anything you want, and you'll just get that. But have you ever thought, like why this website is very simple? Like this is the most used website in the universe, but it's very simple. Why? Because it's usability. Google could have used their advertisement or anything else in that website, but they didn't. They make it simple so that everyone can use that. So there are some purposes of designing, like how easily one can access a website or an app. Like if you hand over some new app to your parents, uh, so they might feel this thing awkward, like okay, how am I supposed to proceed in that app? But you have to design in such a manner that everyone can use that. Even a child can use that. Even a old person who is not very used to technology, he or she can also use that. So it depends on what you are using. Like I'll give a very basic example, like Google Pay. So this is a payment software, but you find it very handy. Like you can, it's very easy to use. Everyone can use that. But if we insert too many facilities in the same software, it might get worst. So optimizing the thing is the main thing. So here are the team, DSC team. They will proceed you through the all the technologies, and they will give you basics like what is UX UI design and how they are used, and where we can implement that. Like what are the softwares you can use to design your web or your app. So they will go through that. So I'll hand over to Nihar. Nihar, are you there?
Thank you, Manjil. So, welcome everyone, and we'll start with a brief introduction of ourselves, the whole team. So, my name is Nihar. I am from second year CSC, and I'm a member of the DSC design team. And I'll request everyone to please introduce themselves, all the design team members.
Hello everyone, this is Soumyaranjan Mahapatra. I'm from Electronics and Instrumentation branch and I'm a part of the design team of DSC and NITS sector.
Hello everyone, my name is Isavanand. I am from Electrical Engineering Department. I am also a member of design team in DSC.
Hello everyone, I am Tritaras Bora and I am from Electronics and Communication Engineering, and I am from design as well as web development team of the DSC and NITS Silchar.
Hey everyone, my name is Pavan Dixit and I'm from Mechanical Engineering Department and I'm in designing team in DSC.
Samistha, please can you introduce yourself? Okay, Samistha's mic is not working. So she's also a second year member. She's from computer science and engineering, and she's a design team member, as well as the Android team member in the DSC and IT Silchar. So now let's move on with our today's session. So Samistha, can you please move on to the next slide? First, let's see what is UX and UI. As Manjil Hogda said, usability is all that we need. When you click on google.com, you can see nothing, but it's all white, it's all white and some red, gray, red, yellow, green, and blue. So what's special in the page? The specialty is their usability and how simple it is for the user to use everything that's in Google. Even if you log into Google Meet, you'll see nothing, but it's all just white. But there's a beauty in that, right? The beauty that makes us use the application. So user interface design or user interface engineering is the design of user interfaces for machines and software such as computer, home appliances, and mobile devices and other electronic devices, with the focus of maximizing usability and user experience. So if we move on to the next slide. Samistha, please move on to the next slide. So now we'll see the differences between UI and UX. Can you please take it over?
Yes, sir. Can I present my screen, sir?
Yes, sure.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, is it visible?
Okay. Then we heard about UI and UX. we first of all we think that it is both related to design, and yeah, it is related to design. But in UI, in UI we make the design which the user interface means the user will see it, and in UI, a UI designer and UX designer is both are different. Like a UI designer will make the distance between this home and back sneakers, and all of this means the UI designer will see the make the shape of the website or the app, and like recent in UX design, they just make a framework like this. Means they just want to show the UI designer how the app will work and how the app will look like, means how the user will interact with it. For example, can like this, a UX designer will do this, and after that, a UI designer will make the website or the app, and from that a user can interact with it like this. All the buttons, they are linked to a certain slides, and that's all a UI UX design both collaborate with themselves, and they work together for a UI UX design. Means they both are different. It's not the same as we all know UI UX. So means I can show you like this. The distance between each block like this. It is decided by the UI designer, and the UX designer will show the direction after we click. The first interaction to the last interaction is decided by the UX designer, and the UI designer will show the interaction, means show that the visual interaction to the user with the website or the app. I think all of you understand. Is there any doubt?
And everyone, we are trying to keep this session as interactive as possible. So if you have any doubt, please raise your hand and ask the question.
I guess since no one is asking anything, we can move forward to the next part, which is installation and setup of the software which we are going to use. First of all, let's talk about Figma. Figma is a collaborative interface that lets you collaborate with other designers on the same project at the same time. And another software which we use is Adobe XD. So we have two software, but mostly we use Figma because of its ability to collaborate with other designers. Adobe is also slowly adopting this process, but we already have Figma for it. So we can do Figma web apps. So the procedure is extremely simple. You go to figma.com, which is the official website for Figma, and you sign up. For that, you only need an email, or you can rather directly sign in with Google itself. So, Amishta, if I may present. So, I guess my screen is visible right now. This is the default like home landing page of the website of Figma. So what I do here is sign up, and I sign up with Google because it's easier for me, or you can also sign up with your email account. So suppose I sign up on my Outlook account. and I provide a password, let's say randomly. So, and I create this account. I give my name, and since I'm working on a design, so I create this for that particular purpose. So I do this, and I guess after that you're all done and set. You will have to do, verify your email first. Since I have an account already with a verified email, I'll be using that account directly. So let us see. Now I'll be logging in. I signed up with my Google account. You can see it says authenticated. So you can not only like, this is your basic platform for Figma. You can not only see your projects, but you can also view the community and see what other people are doing. Basically, there are so many beautiful kits and like frames which you can use in your projects as well. And you can also use different plugins which are available with the system. So let's move on to the next part, which is basically the shapes and tools of the system itself of Figma. I'll ask Sharmistha to take over.
Before Samistha, let me tell something like, everyone, we are trying to keep it as friendly as possible. So we request you to please try to sign it up. If you are sign it up as we are going through, it will be much easier for you to catch it up. Thank you. So for the next one, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone. Mm, So my screen is visible, right, Nihar?
Yeah, it's visible.
So hello everyone, my name is Sharmistha, and today I'm going to tell you about the uses of shapes and tools in UI UX designing. So wherever you open your phone or any other web pages, the first thing that you see is that there are different elements of different size and color as well. Those things are the widgets there. And in order to make those beautiful widgets to appear in your interface, we have to learn about the shapes of which the widgets are made up of. So we know that there are different shapes like the circle, the square, rectangle, polygon, etc. These shapes can be customized accordingly and help us to make different shapes which we can put in our interface to make it more good looking and more attractive as well. So in order to customize this shape, we have to keep certain things in mind. So let's us see what are the things that we have to keep in mind in order to customize this shapes. First thing that comes is emphasis. As you all have heard that the unique one stands out of the crowd, likewise it is applicable to UI as well. Whenever we design something unique, it always drives the attention of the user. Here, the unique shape it stands out. They can direct the attention of different part of a screen. For example, here we can see that there is a yellow floating button, which is in contrast with that of the bottom F bar, and it drives the unique attention of the users. So this is all about emphasis. So moving on, then we have identity. Shapes provides a way for users to recognize components and identify different material surfaces. For example, in here we can see that the entry chips can be identified by their consistent use of shape. For example, here we can see that the two names of the users, we can directly see that they are different from each other, and it is not creating any ambiguity at the last, that so that it creates any confusion that the design is not clear. So you have to make it clear that via the design we are passing the information to the users in such a way that there is no ambiguity created. So moving on, then comes the state. You can communicate an element change of state by using a different shape from the rest of the element in that group. Here, for example, we can see that there are different options here. For example, the architecture, technology, there are the different options that are visible here. So whenever a user goes and tries to select one, then the shape automatically changes. As you all can see here, it is a bit rounded. The corner radius has been changed here. So this kind of effect, it gives a very good impression to the users, and the users becomes very friendly to it. So this is one of the point. So now moving on, the fourth point is branding. So for example, if you are given a task, for example, to design a page for a particular brand, you have to design it in such a way that the entire feel of that brand must be reflected through that page. So in that case also, tools, it plays a very major role here. To express a brand virtual language throughout an app uses shape in tandem and with other customization, like we can change the color and font of it in a consistent way. So here we can see in this image, we can see that a particular pattern has been followed, and by doing a very minimalistic changes, we are creating different thing in each cases, and it is giving a very good feel of that brand as well. So now moving on to the fifth point, that comes displaying the shape. It is also a very important point. Shape is made visible when surface edges have sufficient contrast against their background. Here we can easily see that the difference or the contrast in between the background and the floating button. That is, the floating button, it is blue in color, and the background, it is white in color, and we can easily identify the difference in between them. And moving on to the second example, here we can see that the a floating button, it is just uh, semi-transparent, and it creates a very hard to see the edges and shape of this floating action button. So that's all about this thing. So this all about these things. So this shape and tool is a very vast topic in itself, and in order to master it, we can't only explain it. All thing you have to do is that you have to practice it of your own and observe it. As observation is a very important here. You have to play around this and see how you can do minimalistic changes to the shape, and how means what are the effect that it is giving to your design. So that's it. Thank you so much.
So let me show you how you can do it on Figma itself. So as you can see, I just cleared all my stuff. This is the basic project background once you have created a file on Figma. What you need to do now is, first of all, create a frame. A frame is basically your playground for this, where you will design your own stuff. So first of all, I'll create a frame. But for me, I have been told to create an Android app. So you can already see Figma provides me with many different pre-built frames which I can choose from. So I need an Android app. So I can choose a Google Pixel or an Android. I'll prefer to go with Google Pixel because why not? It's Google. And now you can see this is my these are my tools in Figma. As I explained, this is the frame tool which you can use to create frames. But this here is one of the most important tools about which Sarmista just said. This is the shape tool. You can use it to create rectangles, lines, arrows, ellipses, polygons, stars, and even place images should you need it. So suppose I need to create a bottom navigation bar with a single button. What I will do is basically just draw a rectangle straight through. But this color is very odd. I don't like it. So what I will do, you can see as soon as I click on this rectangle, many of the properties come into play. This shows me the constraints from left and right, and this gives me the opacity. You have various types of opacities, and I would suggest that you go through each and every one of them so that you can understand what each of them do. But for now, let me explain some of the important ones which you will use in most of the times. Your normal opacity makes when you reduce it, it makes things appear semi-transparent. Basically, this is at 100%, but if I reduce it to 50, you can see it becomes lightened. And if I place another shape behind it, you can see that it will be visible. See, you can see that it becomes sort of semi-transparent, and it does not let the it doesn't feel that like it can be used to create many such shapes should you need it. Now, for now, I'll delete this one and let's focus on making the bottom nav bar. So I need it at 100% opacity, and I need to change the color to a more color that suits me. And I like blue a lot, so I'll choose this blue. This seems nice. Now I need to create a button. So what I will do is create a circle. Suppose you are not perfect with the circle, no problem. You can change the size of your circle here directly. So you needed 122 pixels, you can have 122 pixels. So, but for now, you need to reduce the size. So what I'll do, I'll lock the proportions and then I'll reduce it directly. So now I have a button. As you can see, Figma provides me with navigations directly to help me understand which is the exact center of the screen. And using those navigation lines, I can know exactly how the center of this screen and my center of the circle places, so that I can create a good harmony in the shape. So as you can see, I'll create this and make it suppose white. Okay, now it seems nice. But what I want to do right now is have it outlined by something. So I'll say I enabled the stroke, and it says I enabled the stroke to black color and the size is 1. I can increase the size, no problem. As you can see, the size is increasing, but I want it at 2, so I'll keep it there. But I want a shadow as well, so I can select the effects one and it can give me a drop shadow immediately. And suppose you are very happy with this and you want to share with the world. You can take a screenshot directly, but Figma provides you the option to export it into PNGs. You can select the entire frame and then export it directly to PNG files. Any doubts, guys?
No, also, have you actually signed up for Figma? Because you should do it right now, because you might face some issues and you can ask us right here. So we can give a small time of around 4 to 5 minutes so that you can sign up for Figma. Is it okay with everyone?
Okay, भैया.
Okay,
Sign
भैया.
up. Sign up.
There is no need to download or anything. You just need to sign up and you will be directed to their web app. So there's absolutely no waste of data for you as well.
Hello, Nihar.
Yes, Bhaiya?
Okay, so I think it was good, but there are some doubts like they might have later. So, can I ask you doubts like on behalf of the first years?
Yes, Bhaiya, please.
Okay, so first years might have one doubt like, Bhaiya, do you have to download Figma? So,
Yeah,
so yes.
as Soumya just said, well, we don't need to download Figma. We can just sign up in their official website. The link was provided by Sharmistha just now in the chat box, and you can check it out there. Just click on there and click on sign up. You'll be redirected to the required page.
Okay. Do we need any coding experience? Any coding in designing part?
We don't need anything. We don't need to know anything about coding for designing. As you also said, we don't need any prior experience. All we need is imagination, and or just imagination is enough. And also, if others want to add
And
something,
creativity
please.
as well.
Yeah.
And one message to the first years only, that don't feel hesitate. We are your friends. You can think of as friends. You can ask any doubt you have, and without proper exposure, you will not find like where you are interested. Expose yourself to everything. Uh, any other fields also, designing also. Try everything. After that, you can decide. Okay, this thing I don't like. This thing I like. It's like that. And it's the designing part is like cooking. If you see your mother, she is cooking and you're eating that, okay, it's very good. But when you go to cook, that's a very different experience. So you have to make it with your hand. So use different ingredients, use different vegetables. Then you can taste. Okay, this tastes like this. Okay, these are the things you can do. So can we get the question like when the next session will be? State.
Right now we are just waiting for everyone to sign up, and we'll show something, a little things more, then we'll tell about that.
Okay.
And also everyone might think like, what is the use of designers in this world actually? But
Yes.
if you think a little deeply, you'll see everything that you use, which is good, which you like, is based on designers that have put their efforts in it. Even now the Google Meet screen that you're looking, it is designed by specialized designers over a lot of time. The Figma you're using, it is also designed by designers, how it will look. So if anyone else would like to add, please go on, but that's just what I would like to say about the designers that we are.
UI UX designers not only like have to think of how stuff needs to appear, but they also need to think of like what would be good from the side of the user. Development often doesn't take what's advantageous for the user. You will often see alert warnings on Google Chrome saying the correct option for an alert warning is highlighted to you. That's decided by the user interface designer, user experience designer, who knows that the user needs to see the correct answer first, so that even if you are distracted, you don't know about anything about buttons even, you can see that there's a bright blue thing on an entirely white message, and you can be sure that this is meant to inform you something. That's why you use like this. Always you need to see the contrast between stuff. You can always see the white moon is very prominent in a dark sky. You can always spot out such like stuff in even in the nature. You can see how stuff are designed, and you can use that into building beautiful websites. For now we have only like most of us had seen only Flipkart and all, but if you see perfect like web designs which are mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing, you can see how people think. They expand their boundaries and horizons to think of what can be possible using the technology. And that's how like that's what why people are important to this field. You need to think of what is possible, and you need to expand and extend that boundary. You need to expand it, and you need to think of the way like how you can make it more and more friendly to the person using it, so that even if you ask any like anyone in the society, like even a small kid, he will be able to point you out how the app works. Excuse me.
Hello, Nikhil.
दुआ कितना वो आगे बोल रहा है बच्चा बड़ा बड़ा हो गया दिखे बच्चा
So has everyone now signed up to Figma? If you have any issues while signing up, please let us know. We can help you through it.
I've shared a link in the chat box. You can use that to open the file. You can use that to open the file on which I am working right now. As I can see, like one of the person has, so many people have already joined in to see what the file looks like. So we can directly now, you can directly collaborate with other people as well. So I'd say one of you try drawing a rectangle on the screen. Any one of you. Yes, the pointers can be a bit more distracting, no doubt, but I guess that comes at the cost of collaborating power.
So Mio, I don't think they have edit permission. Edit
yes,
permission they
we don't have the
support.
permission to change it
Yeah, unfortunately, Figma allows just 3 editors per file, so I don't think every one of you can edit there.
No problem. No problem. There's no issue with it. Like it's fine. You can just directly now see what I am doing there. All right. So as you can see, I created this this taskbar, but what I need to do right now is basically add a symbol on it. You can find pre-made symbols on the internet, but I'll be creating one right now. I draw a straight line and another straight line of the.
Soumya, please also share your screen. It will be a little helpful.
Yes. Yes. Just a second. So you can see there are so many people that are seeing this file right now. So what I am going to do is I am going to draw a straight line and another straight line. Now what I will do, I need to make a plus sign, but I need to make sure that they are both aligned. So what I'll do, I'll select both of these. You can see there's a align horizontal centers and there's a align vertical centers as well. So I do this, I create the perfect plus sign that suits me. I'm going to increase the sizes a bit. It's still not aligned for some reason. So let me make it. No problem. So I'll drag it and I need to make it a small size, a bit more small. So you can see this is the like a very simple nav bar, and you can easily do similar stuff on your files as well. You can draw and you can like place stuff, and the most important use you can do is you can go to the community here. You can see wireframes. All right, wireframes just basically allow you to use already used components by other designers in your project. And let's now focus on the other tools. This is pen tool. Pen tool allows you to draw shapes that you need. Suppose I drew a random shape right now, but I needed something like a ellipse. So let's see. I can use it to change the shape from it, and again I can use to like basically draw anything I want using this. As you can see, I drew a UFO even though I wanted to draw an ellipse. Nobody can be like, it's fine, we will everyone will learn eventually. but this is like a random shape that I drew using the pen tool. The pencil tool is also very similar to this, but it allows you to erase and redraw shapes from wherever you want. The bend tool is basically used to bend stuff around. You can draw a shape, but suppose you didn't like the curvature, you can use it to change the curvature. Paint bucket tool allows you to color shapes and shapes inside of them. So with this, like, we have done all of the tools, but we need to see some of the important ones that we will be using. Some of the important shortcuts especially. So just a second. Let me delete all this stuff. So one of the most important shortcuts in any designing tool, not only for UI, UX, and but also in digital art in general. So you have this command shift, like you have shift buttons on your keyboard, right? So when you're drawing any shape, like a rectangle, but you wanted a square, it's tough to like adjust the size to the perfect pixel, right? So what you can do is click on shift and draw the shape. You can basically get a perfect shape like this. All right. You can basically, as you can see, I'm getting a perfect 324x324 shape size. You need to first select this square shape by above, and someone try to draw, no problem. So you can, and for circles as well, so you can select the shift key and then you can draw a perfect circle. But suppose you want to draw it from the center, so what you will do, you will hit alt and then and shift and together with it, and you can see I'm expanding it from the center itself directly. So what I'm doing here is expanding to all the four corners uniformly at the same time. Is there any problem? Is there any doubt?
How do you add text messages?
Type text, right? Yes, I'm coming to it.
Yes,
Don't worry. I'm coming to it. So suppose you are to design like you are doing a app design, and you need to basically do a top bar which will say the name of the app. You did this, you change the color, need to type, right? So what I do is, this is the text tool. You draw a box which will contain your text. You can select your font. I am using Roboto. Roboto is one of the uniformly used, universally used fonts. I'll increase the size a bit. I'll increase it up to 24 so that everyone can see it. And suppose my app's name is Design App. I'll first of all, like, everyone likes stuff when they are centered, right? I'll center this, and then what I will do is drag this on top of this bar, and I will resize it so that it fits perfectly. And with this, you can see it's centered not only vertically, vertically, but also horizontally with these two settings. I'll change the color to white, and I'll increase the size a bit. Okay. So now you can see I have a basic design for this app. Ignore this part, and you have this basic, like, very basic. This is a very basic design which you created with just shapes and a few text tools. Basically, you can type, and if you want, suppose I want Nihar and I are collaborating on something, and I say that I want I don't want this changed. I can type a comment here, so which Nihar can see. Don't change this. Change this. Anyone can see the comments. It won't be visible in the design, but anyone who is on this platform can see what are the comments made by other people. so that like it makes it, stuff easier when you're not in contact with the person directly, but you can directly communicate through the design app, like through the user interface itself. So any doubts till now?
No way. But how do we centralize the text?
Yes. Okay, I'll show it again. So suppose I draw this box. I so initially it will be like this text. Run. So suppose initially my text was like this, right? So first I select all my text. This is the center text center align. It will align to the center of the box on a horizontal scale. So it does brings it like this exactly. So but I want it in the center of the box as well. You can see there are three options: align top, align middle, and align bottom. I selected to align middle. Now you can see from the entire box, it's aligned to the middle. Basically, you don't, and when this will be made into an app or a website or whatever you are designing for, you don't need to like really consider it tough, because you are literally doing no coding and you are thinking of way that would look better for the users in general. The other stuff which will be made by the developers, they can do it easily with CSS for websites, and for apps you have XML layouts, or for other, like if you are doing on some other platform like Xcode or Kotlin. I really have like very less idea about those, but they need to think about what they are doing, what they will do to import your design. But most of the time it so happens that app ideas are really easily implementable on the design part. So what you need to think important, like your part is one of the most important parts in the procedure, which is to think from the user's end, not from the developer's end, not from the company's end, but from the user's end. You are not only like making it the app for the company you are working on, but you are also making it from the user's perspective. You need to think outside the box about how to make it unique. Suppose I want a calculator basically. So what I will do, that adds two numbers. So I will make this, suppose enter number 1. But I don't want it this dark. What I will do is make it a bit lighter, and make this box, make a box around it so that user knows that he has to type in it. But you can see I can remove the stroke entirely by making it transparent. This is the transparent bar. I can make it transparent entirely, and then I will add a stroke to this, which is for like a bit more thick. Okay, so suppose this is my box 1, and this is my box 2. I will have a circle in between that says plus. Basically, for the plus sign, what I will do is make arrows of the same size. This is a 58 size. So suppose this is my simple UI design for adding two numbers. User types number 1 here, number 2 here, and the result gets displayed in another rectangle, which it comes out suppose here. So this is my basic design for making the app. Now, what happens behind the screens is none of your concern, and you don't need to like think that hard as well. This is this is your first like think of it as a task. This is there is no compulsion doing it, but try it on a page on your own. Make another like file on Figma itself, and you can do it and try making one similar entire calculator. Basically, you don't need to think of that much about users right now. Just try making and exploring the shapes.
Soumya, you're there?
Yeah, sure. So I guess you have all like tried to like I guess you will all try to explore the shapes and the sections more. I think you can now think of like how to make share different shapes using the pen tool as well, should it be necessary. And you can create a basic load like a layout for any app. So I would suggest that you guys take any app you want to and try replicating the user interface. Basically, you can take Facebook or Instagram, or if you want anything simple, you can take WhatsApp, since everyone universally uses it in general. And try doing the design on Figma.
So, Bhaiya, like connecting different pages, that's the backend part, right?
Yes, like no. For now, you need to like make one page. We will come to like making different pages and connecting when we go to the user experience part, and it will come like in the next classes very soon. Don't worry.
Okay.
Also, yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. When you are designing anything for web on Figma, you it all generates a pre-built CSS already for the stuff. So you don't need to like if anyone asks you to uh, asks you for like is this even can you even implement it yourself, you can actually go and say probably like yeah I can, and you can like shove it in the face and say that yeah this is the CSS code and I just need to write the HTML for like making this website look how I want to. basically. So you don't have to like you don't need to think like you don't have any like developers are superior. You are definitely vastly superior than anyone.
So everyone, you can just try out from yourself to do some things on Figma by getting a new file and just try out everything what you can. Don't worry about if there's some errors in the design. In the next session, we'll be going deeper into how the color things work and some about minimalism and animations and all. So if anyone has any more doubts, you can ask it right now.
Bhaiya, so first and foremost thing we have to do is add the frame, right? And then after that we can proceed.
Yeah, first you have to add
Yes.
the frame. Yes, Soumya, please tell the whole procedure.
Yeah, like you need like a frame is basically your canvas. Think of it as a canvas. You can do anything you want to on the frame. So you need to add your own frame and do the design on that. You don't need to like stick on that particular Android frame. Suppose you want to do a 1080 x 1920 size, you can do it. It's you can like draw it on your own. The frame option, the frame tool allows you to draw your own frames as well.
Okay, bhaiya.
Yeah, is it a good practice to clone various app UIs, the user interface of various apps?
Most of the times, it depends. Basically, you suppose you are fighting like you are doing a e-commerce app. You need to make it somewhat similar, not exactly, you cannot clone it definitely, but you need to like suppose you have a logo that's in purple color in comparison to Flipkart and Amazon, so you need to match your app's theme to that color, and you need to select like components basically based on that particular color. But you also need to think that people will want to shift from like Flipkart to your app, so you also need to make sure that there is some similarity and that they can easily learn the rest of the things themselves. So you need to maintain some sort of similarity, but not entire the entire clones thing.
No, bhaiya, just for practice, is it okay?
Ah, yes, yes, yes. For practice, you can like definitely. As I said, you can go on the community on Figma and pick up stuff from there directly. Like you have pre-built navbars, you have pre-built menus, you have pre-built text forms and everything. You just need to think of how you need to place them. Like the only limit here is your imagination. So go on.
Okay, bhaiya,
Uh,
thank you.
I would like to add something like, yes, you can try anything, whatever you want. You can clone apps and try it. But just imagine one day after you have done so much, you have developed an app. And the first thing when you show the other people see my app, they will say, wow, this looks like WhatsApp. So it will feel bad, right? So like you need to think something unique. But yes, for practice, you can obviously clone things and all. But just when you're going on to the higher version, just like avoid that because
Yes,
it
bhaiya,
won't
I
feel good.
got it. Thank you so much.
Anyone has any doubts?
No, bhaiya.
No way.
Okay, then. So we'll be having our next session on Thursday. You'll be getting updates in the Facebook group, and we'll also be informing through other unofficial means. And you might have doubts about the certificate thing. So for certificate, you will need to complete the workshop, and there will be a task given to you. After completing the task, then only you will be receiving the certificates.
I can see one question in the chat box. Is Figma the best app for uh, app development, like with basic design? So it depends on the person. If you are collaborating with people and collaborating with people, it is definitely the best mode. But if you are looking for like a brand value which attaches itself, and you are looking for like offline availability and offline workability of your product, then I'd say you have another software by Adobe. Basically, it's free as well. You can try it out. Uh, we had given the yeah, you will definitely get the recording of this session on YouTube itself, and you can like get the app for free. I had already posted the methodology on the group on Facebook. You can find the instructions there and download Adobe XD. The user interface is extremely similar to that of Figma, so there's no need to worry about that.
Also, have anyone created anything on their own right now? Means it's okay if you have not created, you will just have a lot of time.
Kavya has posted a question like, Bhaiya, I am making the triangle I'm making is at 60° only. How to make it 90°? Okay, so you can draw your own triangle using the pen tool. Like you can draw straight lines with the pen tool directly. Like you need to click on basically 90°. And if you like are not able to click directly on 90°, let me show you how you do it. Like there's a shortcut for it as well. Just a second. So
Yeah, is there a way to make the boxes like rounded at the edges?
yes, yes, definitely. Let me just show the rectangle thing once. Sorry, the triangle thing once. So you can see here I drew this random triangle. This is like always like never 90°. If you click shift and draw it, and then it will come 60° itself. But suppose you want a 90° triangle. So what you will do, click on shift, basically, click on one point, make the length suppose this much, and again click shift and extend it to the right side. What shift allows is you can like, and then leave the shift button. If you click on the shift button, you will go along 45°. Shift button allows you to go at particular angles, 90°, 45°, 180 and 135°. So you can like easily make shapes with more uniform stuff. Suppose you want a hexagon. So I'll do is like this. This is like a random hexagon. This is not exactly a regular hexagon, but like basically clicking shift and drawing things makes more uniform stuff more easy. Now coming to the rectangle rounded rectangle thing. Okay, so just a sec. Let me draw a rectangle first. Let me delete this. Okay, so I have this rectangle, right? Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I explained so much stuff, and if it would not have been visible, it would have been shameful, right? So you can see like there's this option right here that like if I click on independent corners, I can assign the radius of each corner by something. Suppose I wanted 6. You can see this corner is slightly more rounded, and these are all straight. But if I don't want independent, I can click on this and I can set 6 here. You can see each and every one of these are rounded right now. I can make it 20. So you can see the roundedness increases throughout. And similarly, you can rotate this stuff as well. I rotated the entire rectangle by 63°. You can rotate it by 90°, and like you can rotate it at any angle you want to, basically. Any more doubts?
Yeah, can you show it again?
Yes, sure. So like, okay, this is my regular rectangle, right? You can see there are like many options on the right hand side panel. This one states the position, x and y coordinates of the position from the center, basically, center of this part, and this is the width and the height of the object that I have currently selected, which is a rectangle. This is the angle of rotation, and this is the corner radius. For now, I have kept all the corner radiuses same, so I'll put it at 25. So the corner radius increases by 25. You can also do this by, like, when you select any shape, you will have these circles on all the corners. If you click shift and drag these circles, you can draw all the circles uniformly, or if you make this all independent and then you select the corner, you can like adjust one corner in particular. Is it okay right now?
Yes, Bhaiya. It's working.
Okay, so someone has asked how to draw a square from a rectangle. Okay, sure, there's no problem. So this right now is a rectangle. Can everyone see it? And I can see, suppose I have drawn this 367 137 rectangle. I don't want to draw a square again. You can directly change the width 137 to draw a rectangle. But if you directly want to draw a square, select the rectangle tool and then click on shift and drag. You will automatically get a square of how much you whatever size you want to. It will be you can see it says 153x 153 right now, and it won't change. It will maintain the same aspect ratio. It's still 94x 94 because I'm clicking on the shift key right now. But if I leave the shift key, you can see it suddenly reduces to 94x 17, which is the exact distance of how much I dragged from this point. So if I click on shift right now, you can see it calculated the maximum distance I am from this point and made a square out of it, which is 336x 336 right now. You can try out various shortcuts hidden in the Figma, but I'll say try out the first ones with shift and alt. I'll mention just in case anyone can't hear in the chat box, like can't hear right. Okay, I hope so that nobody has doubts anymore.
No way.
No, yeah. Okay, excellent. So let's keep the first class up to this much. I hope you all guys will experiment a lot with this platform and show us bright results in the future, in the near upcoming days itself. So all the best, guys, and I'll definitely say that the only thing that's limiting you right now is the sky, and you can always beat it, and it's limitless basically. So just go on forward. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for joining us in the session today. We shall be meeting you again in the next session. That's on Thursday, and more details will be posted in the group as well. So
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you,
so,
Bhaiya.
yeah.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you, Bhaiya.